All right, so I guess I can say for sure that King John Sirasani, the greatest of all time, is not going to care one way or one way or the other when I say I'm going to leave him be from now on because tracking his play is exhausting, and it's the same thing every time. It's utter crap. It's sort of like I don't know, schoolboy blackjack, flat betting all the way, and then just going nuts once in a blue moon, and sometimes getting lucky with a nutso Hail Mary bet, and mostly not getting so lucky. I mean, John is the same as all the other pro losers. He only makes money when he wins more bets than he loses, and there's no style, there's no panache, there's no skill in that. And please understand, all the skill in blackjack and baccarat goes into how you bet, because how you play has got nothing to do with anything in the end. I mean, Sirasani does some weird things from time to time, standing on 15 against an ace, or splitting things he shouldn't, or just doing strange things. The worst thing he does, of course, is multiple bets. But then they all do that because what these guys do is what the casinos want you and me to do. That's what they're about. They are there to serve the casinos, to bring in more punters, more lambs to slaughter, and that's their job. And when you hear somebody like Vegas Matt saying, "I'm not promoting gambling," no, 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 I'm providing entertainment. Well, it's absolute BS. If that's what the casinos thought, they would just stay away from him. But the casinos know two things: one, more customers, more gamblers are going to be brought in. Two, if they become the most popular casino in terms of exposure on YouTube, then gamblers who used to gamble somewhere else will now gamble with them. So the Voldemort Casino, which almost owns Vegas Matt, is getting more and more successful because it gets so much exposure through Matt and through Bobby Rivas. But this is it's a transactional situation with the professional losers. It's all about how much money they can make, and they don't give a tinker's toss about what damage it's doing, what harm is likely to be caused. And you can be sure every single day, at least one, and probably a lot more than one person is going to be hurt by exposure to Vegas Matt or to Bobby Rivas or whatever, because they're going to see that, think they can imitate it, and do something stupid. And that's why I think that they need to be stopped. But that's I'm certainly in the minority with that view, because I've got what I mean a handful of subscribers and a few dozen hits most of the time. But I am telling you the truth. I am talking sense. And the most important thing is, if you can't afford to win, don't bet, because this is not just fun and games. I mean, look at this. Look at this bloody pile of bloody money over here. You think you can take that on with a shoestring budget? Then, well, you deserve to lose. Is all I can say. Ah! Okay, so another day and another few dollars, hopefully, back in the cheap seats. And yeah, we did well last time. A fluke, natural, but that's the nature of this game. I mean, it gets really irritating when I get feedback sort of saying, "Yeah, well, you just got lucky." Well, just getting lucky happens on both sides of all these games. I mean, particularly baccarat and blackjack, and it's just part of the action. It's just how it is. And sometimes it's on your side and sometimes it's on their side. And I like it better when it's on our side, frankly. But there you go. Anyway, let's see how we do. It was only 5 minutes, the recording yesterday, so I thought I'd tack on another session. Don't want to sell you guys short. 51. Up yours. That's a repeat, of course. There we are. Okay, back to the min. Win it, then minute. Oh, I think that's a double down. Well, it is now. That was disgusting. And he'd have bust if I hadn't doubled down. Oh, well. Okay, so that's a double for the push. What? Damn it. 1, 2. All right, it's going to be like that, is it? One of them sessions. 3, 4. I don't think we won one yet, have we? Okay, 15-8 dropping to 3. Oh boy. That would have made me 21. Okay, so now we're on 9-8, which I think we can bump up to 9-10. Well, that's a double, isn't it? Oh dear. Okay, well, there's a little bit of work is going to have to be done here, isn't it? 9, 10. So we're now on 3, 4, and we've got to go up market. So I've got to make a little note here. 3, 4 times 1k, and I've lost 675, 26 minus 2675 over here. That's a bugger, isn't it? All right, just bear with me for a moment while I get off my stool and go and look for another table. All right, so we're in richer territory right now, and the bet is 4,000. Oh, well, that's a nuisance because I'm going to have to now go back to the other table. But that's basically I keep digging myself these holes, and I hope somebody else out there is enjoying this. I mean, I'm not getting a huge audience, but on the other hand, I am at least getting to prove my point from time to time, because you watch these pro losers bending over. It's absolutely incredible. I think I'll put a pause on this and just go and double check. But I think that Crazy Cody, I think it was like something like 17 consecutive losses. I'm not sure. I'll have to go and look for that. Hang about. Yeah, okay. Slight interruption here, but this was this was great. I mean, sorry. I just think this is so, it's so ridiculous. I mean, what the hell is he doing? This guy lost 1,075,000, right, against a house advantage that because of his extra bets, which cost him 200,000, right over here, 1,075,000, a house edge of 41%. I mean, you've got to be brain damaged to just sit still for that kind of crap. I mean, it defies all logic and understanding. I mean, you don't bend over, you don't suck it up, you don't sit there like some sort of bloody half-wit zombie just going, oh, lost another 2 hands, oh, another 2, oh, another 2. I mean, it's just sorry, a bit of a diversion there, but I mean, this is why I tend to get sort of a little worked up about these professional losers on YouTube, because they are teaching horrible, or they are featuring, because they mostly will say, no, we're not teaching anybody and this is for entertainment purposes only, and so on. But they are displaying self-destructive, suicidal, stupid, irresponsible, reckless behavior. And it just isn't right, in my opinion. I mean, I'd love to hear from people telling me what they think about all of this. And I'm getting some negative comments once in a while. That I'm a killjoy, I'm a whatever, you know. But dear me, I mean, that guy is just something else. And the house edge against him was so enormous, what, 42%, something like that? I mean, come on. Who the hell sits through crap like that? And when I do these huge models, which have got sort of like a million outcomes in them and all the rest of it, the one thing that I can't legislate against is what I used to refer to, well, still do actually, but I haven't used the term in a long time, the inertia factor. When you're running a sort of a high-speed simulation like that, it doesn't allow for any kind of human interaction whatsoever. It doesn't allow for the sort of thing that I'm doing here, where I'm saying, okay, so we just turned around at this high limit table. So now we're going to go back to the low rent district and start over at 25. That sort of thing, which is what I'm going to do in just a second, because I can't place a $25 bet here because it won't let me. Well, no, there. Okay, well, I'm not going to anyway, because the whole thing that I'm trying to get across now is you collect your money, you win it, and then you go back, and you min it. You go back to the low rent table. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so here we are. We're back in sort of normal territory, and we kick off with a minimum bet, and away we go. But yeah, I mean, these guys, they play like absolute prats. And that's because the casinos that they work for, although they pretend they're not working for them, but the casinos that they work for want us all to behave like prats, Double for the loss. We don't do the repeat there because we got the double. We are not greedy. That's very annoying, isn't it? I don't see why the dealer should be allowed to get lucky. It just doesn't seem right to me. Oh, bloody hell. Come on. Oh, that was a bit lucky, wasn't it? 6 card, 2, 2, 3. It's a full house. It should be a bonus for that, shouldn't it? Oh, it's not quite a full house because that A's in the way. The ace is in the way there, but you know what I mean. All right, back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Back to the min. Split ski. Yeah. Well, that was a disaster, wasn't it? So that's 51. Didn't double down anyway, did I? We will repeat this time because that's not a full payoff. All right, back to the min. Split. Got a bit of money there, I think. +1. Double for the loss. No. Yeah, 51 is what I meant to say. 2, 3. Oh! Damn it. How many pushes is that now? 3 in a row? That works a little better. Yeah, the thing about sort of like bending over, it doesn't make any sense, because quite often what will happen is that once a really nasty run gets going, it keeps going, And the same applies in the opposite direction, the flip side. You can get a plus run going and it'll just start and it'll just go nuts. So you've got your mean streaks and your plus runs. That's my lingo, all right? You can call them what you like. I like mean streaks. But yeah, that's just how it goes. Clear that and back to the min. Got a bit lucky there, +1. Oh, that was a lucky one too. +1. Double. Uh-oh, that's pop, 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 2, 3. That works. Okay, we've got a way to go. This is going to be a bit longer this time. Double for the loss. Repeat. Ridiculous. All right, back to the min. Not that I'm not grateful. Double for the loss. Double for the push. The whole idea of these sort of like little bump ups that we do every so often, the little boosts, is so that when turnaround comes, we make a little bit more money because we've had to work harder and longer, Was not expecting that. That was a repeat, of course. That's 1, 2. All right, it's going our way right now, isn't it? That can end in a heartbeat. That's not looking very good, but it is against a 6. There we go. Big money. I was expecting a 5. 51. Two, 3. Look at that up there. Bloody hell. 5, 6. Nines to 9. Yeah, we've got to do it. All right, so that didn't work out so well, but anyway, let's do it again. Okay, now what did I just go? 9s to 9, 1, the other 5, 6, so that's 11, 6 dropped to 3. I think that's right. 14, 6. 11, 6. Not quite roundup territory. Bugger. 11, 6, 17, 12. So now we can talk 4, 3 in 500s. Bugger. Okay. 4, 3. We can just do the next one. 4, 3. Sorry, I'm sort of. I haven't had my coffee yet. Can you believe it? 11:20. Had a shitty night last night, so I was up late. But never mind. No complaints. I'm still upright, as my neighbour keeps saying. Still standing. Okay, so we're screwed here, aren't we? Because the next was 4-3, so we're on 7-6 in 500s, which is 4-3 in thousands. So I finally figured it out. So we're going to run away from this. All right. So 4-3 in thousands is where we're at right now. God, I thought we were going to do it again there. Ace-6 against the 3. Sorry, I had to cheat there. You see, we've done it again. We got a nice, well-timed, high-value bet. So the story here is that all I'm trying to say to you is don't bend over, okay? Don't bend over. Get up and go, which is gag in pattern betting lingo. Get up and go. Don't bend over. Always, sort of when you feel yourself under pressure or whatever, go somewhere else. Find yourself another table, different game if necessary, a different part of the same casino, another casino across the street or next door or whatever. But don't do what people like crazy Cody Burn Money do and sit there and suffer a 42% house advantage. It is insanity. And how he can call it entertainment is completely beyond me, because he's not entertained, and I'm sure as shit not entertained watching somebody play that badly. And all the time, multiple hands, 2 hands at least, and sometimes 3. I mean, good God. It's like the casinos have said to this guy, okay, we want you to play like a real stupid idiot, because everybody who gambles is a stupid idiot, and we want them to copy you. I mean, come on. Damn. Anyway, screenshot, and I'm out of here. All right. So now I'm happy again because I've got a negative AV, which always makes me smile. So moving on. This is, we're now at 192 bets for the total sample in this new series. And to all of those people who say that's irrelevant, it's too small, it's too tiny, it's whatever, just look at these professional losers on YouTube and see how long their sessions last. I mean, sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 rounds bets. Sometimes it's 160. John Sirasani is probably the most serious blackjack player. He takes 3 times longer than your average human being to get his bets out, but he gets to talk a lot while he's doing it, and I can't really fault him for that, because I do a bit of chattering myself now and then. I would hope that I'm getting out more useful information than King John does, but that's for you to judge, isn't it? Anyway, we've got a really kind of bumpy ride here, because straight in the toilet, then out of trouble, blah blah blah. Well, you can read it yourself, and then you can see it suddenly going zzz, a bit wobbly, but getting up there, and then the wheels came off. Meanwhile, pattern betting did very nicely. Thank you very much. The indicated outcome, 500 lost. Actual outcome 7,401. So I'm happy about that. Average turnaround 6.4 bets. Let's see, 10 turnarounds in total. The final win was 21 times the average bet value, so I'm happy with that. What else can I tell you? I mean, there's just there's a limit to how much sense some of my critics can make, because all I do is keep producing numbers which support the concept of pattern betting. And then I'll get sort of nonsense like, I mean, not too long ago, I had one twerp saying to me, well, your bets are way too high. It's like a martingale on steroids. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I mean, come on. It just doesn't make any sense. And sometimes you wonder about the agenda of people who come out with this nonsense, because but right, I'm kind of used to it now, but I complain about it a lot, so I guess I'm not as used to it as I like to pretend. But there we go. So there are the charts. We got a little bit bumpy there. Something I should probably fix is that right now what we're doing is we're doing a sort of a continuation thing. So that here we went from 9,860 ahead up to 17,213 ahead. And probably what I should do is have these charts, reflect individual sessions. But I must confess, very interested in seeing how things progress, because each one of these is a new start, right? And so people who sort of say, well, yeah, it's easy enough to develop a strategy that works over one data set, but then next time you try it, boom, the wheels come off. It's crash and burn, and of course it's utter bloody nonsense. It really is. It's nonsense. But hey, people do love their nonsense, especially those people who work for the casinos. Coming down to the bottom here, we've got an average win of 713, average loss of 360. So if you're looking at average win value versus average loss value, which is what that means, 198%. There is the indicated outcome again, which is like a loss of 500, taking the actual value and multiplying that by the total action for pattern betting. And that's not to say that a regular punter, a sort of a random and flat betting punter like John Sirasani, would necessarily come out at an action like that. But it's useful to indicate that, simply because, what I can say is, well, if you were to get action totaling the same as pattern betting, and you were betting Sirasani style or any of the others, basically, this sort of random kind of flat, boom, Hail Mary, oops, and then occasionally Hail Mary, hooray, it's sort of such a mixture of things that they do. So anyway, loss of 500, win of 7,400. I know which I'd rather have. I don't think that any of us are going to disagree about that. I did add this time one little wrinkle, and that is we go to the top, and I thought, okay, for the benefit of the guy who actually had the gall to say that this is a martingale on steroids. A martingale, of course, just keeps going up and up and up and up and up until it fails. And what am I saying? Up and up and up and up until it succeeds, until it has a single win. I've done a Marty Plus here, which I much prefer, because I think that the martingalers who just sort of like, okay, so the opening bet is a win, so you just repeat that and repeat that and repeat that and repeat that and repeat that. Then when you have a loss, you double. I think that's nonsense. So what I've got here is, we've got an opening series of wins, kind of ridiculous, really. What is that? 9 in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins in a row before a loss. What my martingale version does, what my martingale version does is add a unit after each opening win until the streak ends, and then, as long as this value and that value add up to a plus, then it says okay and goes back to the min. So 25, 50, 75, 75, 75, and then 150 because we lost that one, and then repeat 150. It's just a more sensible way of doing things. And what it tells us is that the Marty Plus for this particular sample would win 5938 on action of 36,000. So that's 16.4%, which is creditable. But the problem with the martingale, of course, is they won't let you play it. People will step up and step in and give you shit and, generally make your life a misery. So you're much better off to take the pattern betting route. But that's me being biased, of course, because I do believe in pattern betting. Pattern betting won 17,213 so far on action, which is about sort of 90% more than Marty Plus. But it's a 26% AV at the end, so 26% hold of total action. So the action is 183%, and the result is 290%. So there you have that. And then over here you've got Marty Plus, average win 262, average loss 168, and then for pattern betting, average win 494, average loss 251. Average win over average loss 197 compared to 156. And I'm not suggesting that anybody should use the martingale. It's just that I do smart a bit when I hear somebody kind of saying, "Oh, it's a martingale on steroids" or something stupid like that, because it really is BS. And as I say, you sort of wonder about the agenda sometimes of the people who come out with crap like that, because it really is infuriating. So that's the summary, basically. I mean, we've got just 192 bets. I get that. But for most of us, visits to the casino, visits to a particular table are short, sharp, sort of like battles. And you have to think in terms of battles. Each one of these sort of sessions here is a skirmish. Oh, and these light blue things here, these are screw-ups on my part, I'm afraid. I don't know what the hell happens. Every so often I just go really weird, and I think you'll find you'll do the same, because it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know, maybe I need help. But I don't need help winning, that's for sure, because I just keep on doing that. And I get that I'm using a sim, and I get that, that it's a different situation than betting in a casino. But anybody who thinks that the Shackelford sim is not first rate, well, one thing I know for sure is that they haven't tried it, and they need to sort of stop flapping their lips and give it a go. Because if you can beat it more successfully than I do, then tell me about it, because I need to know about a better strategy than mine out there. And I would be very grateful. I'm sure there are many, many better strategies out there in the world, but I haven't found them yet. That's all I know. So that's how it goes. Anyway, we started out at 863, and we ended up with 7,375, more than that. So I rest my case for now, and I will see you later.